So we have our next speaker is also from Brazil, and I believe in Brazil as well. So I'm going to bring in Leo Lanna. Hello, welcome to the Global BioFest.
Hello, Lizzie. Thank you for the invitation. I'm really excited to be here. And yes, I'm in Brazil, another part of Brazil, but yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're excited to hear about all of your work today. I'm just going to have you do your screen share, and I'm going to tell people a little bit more about what we'll find out with your what you're going to talk about today. So Leo is a Brazilian scientist that has been guided by the search for the praying mantis in the tropical rainforest nights and especially in the Amazon. So I, for one, am very excited to hear about praying mantis today. We already have someone in the chat who is also excited about praying mantis, I think. And so today, I think you're going to take us on an eccentric and exuberant universe of the praying mantis and maybe learn about some of their behavior and how we can advocate for these wonderful species. So if you can just I'm looking under for our screen share again, if you can try one more time to screen share for us.
Yeah, doing it right now. And I hope you, just a sec. I have to put the screen on and sharing it. So yeah, here we go.
All right, I'm going to add it in for us. Oh, excellent. What a great picture to start with. All right, I'm going to tuck behind and let you take it away from here.
Thank you, Lizzie. So I'm really excited to be here and show you a little bit more about another part of Brazil. It's not the Cerrado, but it's just as awesome. So just to begin with, I work with Projeto Mantis, which is an organization I founded 5 years ago to research, document, and preserve praying mantises and wildlife in Brazil and other tropical rainforests. And basically what we do in our work is that we start with expeditions into the wild. So in the top left corner, you see our last team from our last expedition. It was an amazing expedition to the Amazon. We do our research in tropical rainforests, looking for praying mantises, but also photographing a lot of animals. So photography is part of our work, and we try to bring as much art as possible. So you're going to see a little bit of it as well today. And we also give public speeches and talks. So from places like TED that we just gave a talk this year about the Amazon to schools and universities all around that we're invited. We try to bring this word that I'm bringing you today, and also environmental awareness. So we did bioblitzes, we did small school events. We try as much as possible to connect people as well to the world of praying mantises. They are like a flagship species to us. And my work right now, I'm a biologist, I'm a poet, I'm a photographer, and my research is focused especially in the Amazon right now. So that's a picture from an expedition we did last year in April and May and June.
I'm just going to pause you for just a second because we're not quite in full screen. So if you can click we still see the first page with the projected
okay. Oh, that's weird. Sorry.
That's
Wait,
okay.
just a second. Yeah, that's not something that I knew. Wait, I had to stop and I will share my...
Yeah, Leo, when you're sharing your screen, choose the entire screen option, the very first one.
Yeah, okay. I just did it. So you see it?
Yes, perfect.
And then did it change?
Yes.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. That happens on online events. So I was just talking about and showing this, like how we do expeditions, photography, environmental awareness, public presentations. And the Amazon has been like our home for our research for the last 2 years. We're being focused at there. So this is a really preserved area. It's not the same everywhere in the Amazon. You hear about how it's being logged down everywhere. But there are still patches that are like paradise and places that are home to ancient trees and ancient animals. And this is like, I feel such a privilege to work there. But my work is not focused on this traditional Amazon that we think about, like the lush green, the sunlight, the tropical vibes. I actually work in more a mysterious place, which is the Amazon at night. So when it's dawn, that's when we go out to the fields. I will read the poetry here. And the benevolent veil came with the night, soothing in shadows that precious endless life, echoes from the heart of our planet, calling the rainforest to awaken. So it is just when it becomes night that the rainforest awakes. That's when most of the vibrant life that we find there is active. So that's when you find most of the animals. Sometimes you walk in the rainforest during the daylight and you don't see that many animals, but when you walk at night, you see lots of them. But before going to the field, we set a light trap. It's a non-lethal method to bring nocturnal flyers, insects, just like in our homes, but our light is much stronger, so we'll bring much more insects. And then we go out to the field. We walk sometimes just 100 meters, 200 meters, sometimes like 7 to 8 kilometers away from our lodge or our research center that we are based somewhere in a reserve in the Amazon. And then we walk and start from a point looking for these animals. Darkness is the source of my knowledge, and when I turn out the flashlight, I'm surrounded by ease. I can't see, but I sense the fine lines of life threading my own forest existence. My forest existence is made by the nights, and I have a really amazing connection to this environment. So we go out with a flashlight, our cameras, our device to get the data, and we start searching for the animals. And the rainforest shows itself. So all of these animals, all of these colors, all of these shapes are there. And they are amazing, and they're still so poorly understood because most of them we don't know anything, not even their names, their species, and we're still beginning to understand the dynamics of the rainforest at night, how they behave, how they sense, their three senses, like how they see, how they smell, how they connect to each other. And I see a lot of common animals like frogs are one of the most common at night. And there are traditional frogs like this, the green one, but also weird frogs like this that looks like a fish or some kind of marine animal coming from the deep sea. We see lots of snakes and they are beautiful. I love to see them. I'm not afraid of them because they are calm. And if you respect their spaces, they give beautiful photographies to you. We see small mammals. They are more rare to find because especially they are really aware of you and they really run away when they sense you. So it's hard to get a glimpse of them like this one that we found in the Amazon last year. We see a lot of cool bugs like this stick insect. Some people think, oh, the stick insects may be boring, but actually they are not. They have sometimes colorful wings and they have amazing behavior, and they usually go out at night when their camouflage is not necessary anymore. We also see daylight animals like butterflies usually resting. So it's a great way to see these animals up close because they're usually during daylight very active and flying away. Even birds we find sometimes. We see all kinds of weird things that we don't understand, like this spider that makes this web. It looks like a little bit of a kind of person or totem or something like that. And it's amazing, so mysterious, the rainforest at night. We see behavior like this whipping spider hunting a cricket, and it's really alive. The rainforest, if you want to get to know it, it has to be at night because that's when it is alive and when you're gonna see all the kinds of shapes and colors that you never imagined existed in our planet. It's all around you. So if you go with your heart and mind and a flashlight and a camera, you're gonna see like really the beauty of the rainforest of the Amazon or any other rainforest in the world. And even bioluminescence is present there, so we can get like even shiny creatures and shiny fungi and animals and plants. That is amazing. But what I'm looking for, my research is centered on the praying mantis. That's what I'm here mostly to talk about. So usually people think about praying mantis like a green animal. It has these tweezer-like legs. It has huge eyes. Yes, those are characteristics of the mantis, but they are not just green and big because most of them are actually not. In Brazil, what I research, we have the greatest biodiversity of praying mantis in our planet. We have over 250 species. And in our planet, we have over 2,000 species of praying mantis. So you can expect all kinds of shapes and colors. And first of all, I have to tell you, praying mantis are harmless. So that's what basically got me into the research of praying mantis. I didn't like bugs when I was a kid. I was not the bug nerdy or anything. I was actually afraid of them. And when I saw praying mantis, I thought, wow, this bug probably is gonna bite me or sting me or something. But it's so cool because they use these huge eyes. They really see well. So they're looking at you and they are moving. So they kind of hypnotize you, and it was so cool. And then my professor at the university told me, like, no, they are actually harmless. They don't have poison. They can't sting. They can't bite, and they are actually pretty not well understood. Not many people research them. And I was like, oh my god, if this most amazing bug I thought in my life is not well understood, I should be the one researching them. And yes, there are many specialists that I'm connected nowadays, but not as many as we would need because there are a lot of species to discover. And they have crazy shapes. That's what I learned starting to research mantis. So that's a flower bud mantis from the Amazon. It's one of the most rare that we find there. And this is the female. It has the shape of a little whitish, yellowish flower. And the male actually is totally different. It mimics a wasp. And the young ones, when they are born, they mimic ants and spiders. So they really go through a lot of transformations. We find weird shapes like the deadlift mantis. It's even hard to understand. So if you look closely, I'm gonna point it here. Here are the eyes. You have the antennae here, and those tweezer-like legs are here. You see the spines because mantises are hunters, so they hunt with those spines, only with the strength of their legs. They don't use any kind of poison or anything. And here you see the wings that are perfectly mimic of a deadlift, and it's beautiful. She can fly, but she really can hide in the rainforest because mantises, as they don't have poison, although they are really good hunters, but they are also insects. So they have many predators such as birds, frogs, lizards, spiders, bigger mantises. So they have to be camouflaged. They have to be concealed, and that's why we look at them at night, because that's when they relax and they appear in the vegetation. And here, if you didn't see, the mantis is just here looking at us with the white eyes. This is a new species we are describing this year that had never been documented before in photos or videos, and we have them all. I actually work collecting mantises, and we don't kill any of them at Projeto Mantis. So we take care of them until their natural death, and when they die, then we're gonna do the research. And of course, we're doing the research while taking care of them because we know about their life cycles, how long it takes them to get adult, how long they stay as adults, and a lot of other cool behavior. This is the female, and this is the male of this new species. I had the female alive until a month ago, and she was with me since last year on our expedition in April. And they can live anywhere. There are even mantis adapted to tree bark. So here is a bark mantis. If you don't see it, you should be looking here in the center. There's the mantis, the legs, the eyes are here. They are really, really well camouflaged, all of the species. And these bark mantises are really fast as well. So when you get close to them, they will just run around like in the glimpse of an eye. We say they are like ninjas transporting to the other side of the tree bark. And they are really beautiful when you look them up close. So photography allows us to see all those colors and patterns that are really always amazing me all the time. And they are born really tiny. So this is a bark mantis when it's born, just like 1 day old. And there you see how tiny they are. And we can find them in the rainforest. So actually, most of the time we find the smaller ones. So our eyes really got trained to that. And some of the adults are also small. Some can be bigger than my hand, but this, for example, is a female adult of another kind of deadlift mantis. And you know it's an adult because of the wings. So just like other insects, they only have wings when they become adult. And she's not growing bigger than that. So she's an adult and she's just the size of my little thumb. So it's beautiful, the diversity of shapes, of colors, of sizes they have. So they occupy a lot of places in the rainforest, and we still don't know much about it. This is the female that we had. It's a really rare one. We got her when she was just born, the size of those other ones I showed you, and she's still alive with us. And this is the wing of the male. it's just like, wow, it looks like a deadlift, perfectly like a deadlift. This is the male. They are pretty different. This is usual in praying mantises. The male is really different from the female. And you see those wings are just like astonishing because he can fly with that. He's an active flyer. Normally, females have short wings like the other one, and males are the active flyers. So they fly to the female, and females can't fly. It's really like, even when you look at the textures, it's just perfectly like a deadlift. The colors, everything. It really blows my mind all the time. Like, I can't get used to it. And this is another special species that we found last year, a really rare one in Brazil, and that we were really looking forward to see it for the first time. This one is easy here. Now that you've been to the challenge, this is really easy. It's just right here. And it's the hooded mantis, or in Portuguese, how we are calling it, the kite mantis, because the shape of the pronotum that usually has like only a thin part here in the mantis, this one has an expansion that looks like a kite. And we found it really small and young during an expedition that lasted 2 months. We were looking every night for mantis, and we only found 2 of these mantis. And it grew up and became this beautiful adult. It's beautiful. The colors it shows underneath are just amazing. We still don't know why it's so colorful underneath. Maybe it's for courtship, because some mantis, the male, to sign the female that he's not a prey, he's actually there to mate. He's going to do some kind of dances and showing colors and showing wings. So maybe it's for that, but we're not sure yet. And some of them use as a defense as well. If a predator comes by, the mantis will open up and show all these colors and try to say, hey, I'm bigger and I'm dangerous, although they are not. But they try to say that through colors, because usually in nature, like, really shiny colors means poison or something like that. So when you see a red snake, a really shiny frog, probably it's dangerous. But mantises are not, but they try to mimic that as well. It's really, really plainly beautiful. And the geometry, the way they look like little alien people, the way they look into your eyes almost, is just amazing. This is a really other side of species that is like brown and beautiful and rare as well. This is the Brazilian dragon mantis. We had the pleasure to be the first ones to document it in high quality. That was back in 2017. And National Geographic, which funds a lot of our expeditions, posted the video online in the name of the dragon mantis, we call it, because it looks like a little Chinese dragon. It really caught up in the internet. So it's really nice to see how we can connect to people, and people can find this amazing universe of praying mantis. You see all kinds of shapes, all kinds of colors. You have the unicorn mantis in the middle, the deadlift mantis on the left, the lichen mantis on the right, which is one that I just saw once in my lifetime in a place that I was working for 5 years, and I saw it like after the 5th year. So there's a lot that we don't know yet. There's a lot to find out there. In Brazil, I said we have 250 species, but the expectation is that we have at least 300 more new species to be found here. And I say they even have personalities. If you look up close, some of them look like funny guys that you could hang out with. Some of them look like mysterious. Some of them look like they're older or they are younger. Some look like curious. Some look like they're really harsh animals. So they really can connect us to nature back and connect us. So they are like ambassadors to this world of the insects and the nights of the rainforest. And when we are back from the field, from walking and seeing all these amazing creatures, we check the light trap and it's full of bugs, including praying mantises, the males that fly. So it's amazing because every night it changes. Every night we don't know what's going to be there as well. Just like in the trails, we don't know what we are going to find. We don't know what's coming to the light trap. And a lot of amazing animals come, mostly moths. So you have these huge moths here are sometimes bigger than my face. So they're really huge. And the diversity there is amazing. It changes every night because that's how the rainforest is. The rainforest, the Amazon, is the core of the biodiversity of our planet. It's the most species-rich land, so it's just like changing all the time. Every single part of it is full of animals that we don't know about. Moths like this, some of them live all around in the Amazon. Some of them are really specific, endemic. They only live on that patch. So that's why we can't lose any patch anymore, you know, because the Amazon is like a cauldron of life, of evolution. And that's where we have to be looking for new technologies, for new medicine, and for beauty, for inspiration, for arts. And of course, in the light trap, the mantis come as well. A lot of them come. And this year, last year, we found this one, which we are describing and submitting the description next week, which is a new species. And this species is really intriguing. I want to finish with it because we only found it through the light trap. So we never found it, and nobody ever found it, like, as far as we know, walking in the rainforest. So possibly this means it's a species that lives in the canopy, which is unreachable for us right now. So it's really hard to reach the canopy, and that's why where scientists expect the greatest biodiversity in the Amazon. So I can imagine how many other shapes and colors and sizes and behavior of mantis are there. And we are trying to push it forward with technology and doing a lot of kind of test and trial and error to reach the canopy, and not like bring them down only with traps, but actually go there and see them with our eyes and see them how they behave where they choose to live. So in Projeto Mantis right now we're working just me and Lucas, which is a graphic designer, an artist, a beautiful and amazing artist that brings this concept to our project as well. So we mix science and art to connect people to the world of the rainforest. And that's a picture of us in our last expedition that we spent 2 months in the Amazon. And it was a beautiful picture to take. It was a full moon, a lot of animals around. We heard like steps of big mammals walking around. And of course, we didn't have fear because we know the rainforest is not fearsome. It's actually beautiful. We just had adrenaline, and we had like such a feeling of gratefulness to be there. And we work together and with a lot of partners. You can follow us on our social media, Projeto Mantis. You can see our website and keep updated with our work. As Amazonia sails through Umbra, the nights, hurry up, we'll sail along, for the wild is once again thriving. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, that was fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen so many mantis in my life, and I had no idea that they were so beautiful and were more than just green. So thank you so much, Leo, for taking us on that beautiful, beautiful journey. There's a question that has come in on our live stream that is, how do you find these tiny juvenile mantis, knowing how thick the leaf litter can get in the Amazon?
Yeah, so they are everywhere. They are in the leaf litter, they are under leaves, over leaves. It depends on the species. And we actually, it's experience. We have trained eyes, really, because, for example, we had the opportunity to be with some guys that are specialists in bird watching on one of our expeditions, and they were with us at night. And like they have trained eyes for birds, for big mammals, but they couldn't find almost any mantis. So the average number of mantis I find by night is like 4 to 5. It takes a long time, okay? So like finding 5 mantis at night is it's a beautiful night. It's like we had to celebrate. But they were like together, 3 of them were only able to find 1 at average per night. So it's a huge difference, the experience, because like our brain already got like this click of where to look and how to look, and it's like a dance of flashlights, I say, because our flashlights are dancing the way I move it and Lucas move it. It's really beautiful to see because it's really trained eyes. I can spot like a really tiny mantis like meters away because I know to differentiate it. Like my brain knows. I don't know like rationally, but my subconscious knows like that is an antennae, that is a wing, that's not like a plant. So this is something that really gets usual after you work a lot at night there. But it's hard. It is hard.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially with how well they camouflage too. Looking
Yeah.
at those images, it took me a really long time to find one of them that you showed, the first one. How many would you say, in terms of new species that you found, how many new species have you found? And then how many do you think are kind of out there still yet to be discovered?
Yeah, so we described one in 2020. We have 2 confirmed to be described this year, and we have around probably 5 to 7 more to describe. Because as there was not such a huge amount of people researching mantis in the past, it's also hard to tell apart if it's a new species or not. Sometimes I'm looking at a description from, I don't know, the 1800s, and then the description is just like 3 or 4 lines, and I say like, okay, this fits a lot of mantis that I know, because in that time they thought this was like unique because it was green and slender. But now we know there are many green and slender species. So is it mine, the one I have in hands, or not? And scientists expect for Brazil at least 300 more, and that's a conservative number. Some people say like at least 700 more. So we don't even know like half of the species of mantis in Brazil. You have like 50-50 chance to find a new species when you find a mantis around that. And the Amazon, wow, it's just like everywhere is different. It's not a plain rainforest. It's actually, I say, like a tapestry. It's like a mosaic of all kinds of creatures and environments. So we don't know. Some may be really endemic, and they're just like there on that half kilometer, 1 kilometer radius of existence.
That's amazing. Are you guys training any people to come along and help you try and spot more mantis?
Yeah, so we have a lot of volunteers a lot of times, and we have some people that already volunteers for a long time with us. They are partners, they are researchers, so they have good eyes to find mantis. So we always bring it. But now we want to expand, and like now that I just got my master's, and I want to expand and train people in mantis research here in Brazil. So yes, we want to expand to that.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Leo. And everyone can go and check on in the chat. We put the website for the Projecto Mantis. Sorry for that. And here it is popping up in our banner again. So thank you so much for sharing those amazing, eye-opening photos and all of the stories of the mantis. Thanks for
you,
joining
Lizzie.
us for
Thank you
Global
so
BioFest.
much. And enjoy the BioFest. It's an amazing festival. Thank you.